All right, guys. So imagine that you are an amateur boxer in the prime of Mike Tyson, and somebody comes to you, some promoter, and he goes up to you and he says, I'm going to offer you a chance of a lifetime and a big payday if you fight Mike Tyson on the stage, Las Vegas, whatever. Your mind would be blown as an amateur boxer. You'd be like, what? What would you do? So we're going to go over something like that in this video. So this is our new series that we're coming out with. It's called Motivational Movies. So this is our first one, and we're going to go over Rocky because
the original underdog story.
Yeah, this is where
mainstream
a bunch of movies started, right? And it was one of the first movies that I've ever seen, and it was one of the first movies that ever made me want to do anything ever work out, right? So it's kind of has a special place in my heart right here, right? So no matter where I go in life, I'll always remember the first time I saw this movie. Why is this movie so great? Why does everyone talk about it? Why does everybody know the name? Why does everybody know this name? Because he's an inspiration, he's an icon, and Sylvester Stallone was the man. Now, for those who... in fact, the story of making this movie is actually even more crazier than the movie itself.
Yeah.
Because no one believed Sylvester Stallone could even get the script to become a movie. They had no budget. They had to work extremely hard just to get this movie in production.
He was broke. He had no money. He was broke. All he had was his dog, and he was sleeping... Either he was sleeping in his car or he didn't have a car at all. You know, he had literally nothing, which is actually really funny because in the movie he didn't have anything either. But
yeah, the fact that this movie was made was already a miracle.
Yeah,
it was already like crazy that this could have happened. But it's the story behind the movie and the movie itself that's extremely inspirational. Anybody who's ever trying to create something and that believes in something that they want to create, like we believe in what we do here on YouTube, and we believe the side business that we do, and we believe that one day if we stay consistent and we stay hard and keep on the mission, that we know one day we're going to be extremely successful. But right now we have to stay on the grind, but that's besides the point. That's just an example. But what this movie did was show people that you can go the distance if you really put if your soul into it, so to speak, and it must become you, and you must become. So why does Rocky obviously work? Because it's a true underdog story. And no, not Dodgeball, not that movie. We'll get to that one day. Maybe.
We'll get there, maybe.
But Rocky is good because it really exemplifies a man on a mission, like a man who has been through a lot of stuff, and nobody believes in him. And one day, this amateur boxer, Rocky Balboa, gets approached by...
He's going to prove it
I
to
guess
the
it was
whole
by,
world
like,
by giving an
they
unknown
did like a
shot
raffle
at the
thing, and
title.
they saw that his name was interesting, so they picked him
Unknown is you.
to fight the world heavyweight champion of the world, Apollo Creed. Now, if that was you, that'd be insane. Your probably heart would probably stop beating like crazy. You wouldn't even know what to do.
Yeah, adrenaline all over.
Rocky could at first he kind of said no. He was like, oh, I don't know. He's the champ. But then he was like, come on, Rocky. It would be a once in a lifetime opportunity. And he did take it. The thing that makes the character Rocky good himself is that he started out with nothing. Just like basically Sylvester Stallone when he first started trying to get this movie in production. So Rocky has nothing. He has no girl. He has no, his parents are not around. He lives by himself in Philadelphia. He's an amateur boxer. And he's also he's one of those loan sharks. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, loan shark, yeah.
Yeah, so he,
200 to break your thumb, you understand?
He was one of those, and he had basically nothing, and no one believed that he was ever going to amount to anything. He was just some guy who did some boxing stuff, and then one day, this crazy opportunity gets laid in his hands, and he is baffled, but he takes it. And then from there, he finds Mickey, or I guess Mickey sort of... In fact, at first, Mickey didn't even believe in him either.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I want to know how come.
You want to know?
I want to know how.
Because you had the talent to become a good fighter. And instead of that, you became a leg breaker.
Mickey was like, oh, don't waste your time. Just, And then he tried to take his locker away. And Rocky was like, no.
Mickey didn't believe in him. And he didn't believe in himself either, which didn't help. Because of that, Mickey pretty much told him, like, no, you're not going to be able to do it. Then it kind of just tried reinforcing it into Rocky where he's like, I don't know if I can do it. But over time, throughout the movie, Rocky was able to, break that cycle, break that chain of, negativity and be able to give himself the chance to do this opportunity. Because, regardless if you win or lose, it's just the opportunity itself.
In life, a lot of people are going to doubt you, right, when you're going after what you want. And it's natural, you know, most people, I guess either they're trying to put you down or they just don't believe that you could do it, right? But if you stay on the path and if you really want something, you can go get it, just like Rocky did, right? He thought that he could really go the distance and maybe he could make something of himself, right? But Mickey at first didn't even want to train him. And then when Mickey found out that, oh crap, Rocky's going to fight Apollo Creed, he was like, yo, let me get in there. Let me train you, bro.
Yeah.
And Rocky was like, I don't know about that, dog.
Yeah.
And then you know, Rocky was yelling at him.
Hey, look, hey, Mick.
What?
Look, I need your help about 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago.
Right.
You never helped me. You didn't care.
Well, if you wanted help, why didn't you ask? Why didn't you just ask me, kid?
And then Mickey was like, fine, I'll just go away. And then Rocky was like, oh, crap, I might need this guy. So they formed a friendship because after Rocky signed on to fight Apollo Creed, Mickey knew there was, in fact, indeed, something special about Rocky that could make him go the distance. So in life, there are always going to be those specific people, maybe even like one or two, like that. They see something in you and you could find like people that are on the same path as you and you could find help, right, in the most unlikely of places. I bet Mickey was the last person Rocky thought that would help him out. And they turned out had a great friendship over the movies. Once Rocky started really training, right, he had to not get distracted. So that plays into his relationship with Adrian, right?
Hey, Rock,
What?
how about you give us your autograph?
Get out of here! Don't you ever interrupt me while I'm conducting business. You lay off that pet shop dame. Women weaken legs.
Yeah, but I really like this girl.
And let her train you!
What makes this relationship good is that Rocky was not, how do I say this? Rocky was not a pussy.
He wasn't a bitch.
Yeah. A lot of movies today portray guys as like retards.
Yeah, or just weak in general, where they pretty much put these women like on like a high pedestal, as, like, you know, and they beg to them like they're
Baby,
beggars.
please love me. Oh my God, please. And they stand outside with the boombox, like, baby, come back. Like they just do all these dumb things. But back in like the 70s, I think when movies were sort of made more, I guess, more masculine characters, more like that. So Rocky, when he tried with Adrian was like, oh, like super shy. Like he would kind of like stop at the store, go see her.
Yeah.
And you know, he knew that he had this intuition, like, okay, she does like me.
Yeah,
I know
he was
confident.
very subtle, yeah.
He was confident in himself that she did like him. And a lot of guys today, they're not very confident.
No
like,
confidence
oh,
at
she'll
all.
never like a guy like me. And like you hear that dumb crap the guys tell themselves.
Yeah.
So, but Rocky was not like that.
Yeah.
He was like, I know this girl likes me. I'm gonna get this girl no matter what. So he ended up asking her on a date. And they went for that date, right? You know, the famous air hockey, the famous the famous ice hockey scene.
Yeah.
Where he's just kind of asking her questions, getting her to talk. That's kind of how a lot of first dates go, anyway. So, I guess whoever wrote that scene must have known something.
I think it was him. So I'm pretty sure he wrote most of it. So hopefully, but yeah, no, and he was like how they portray Rocky too. How Sylvester Stallone portrays Rocky. He has a lot of charisma. You know, he has that subtle charisma and that he's very smooth when he like talks, and so like he pretty much is able to just easily seduce Adrian.
Yeah, well, it wasn't easy at first for him. What he basically did, what he did, like he went and tried to like kiss her, and she was like, oh, because she's very shy, and a lot of shy girls like that are like that, and you know I've seen it. So
Yeah.
a lot of girls are shy like that, so it's completely natural.
Yeah.
And what he did was he kind of pulled back a little bit in that scene.
Yeah,
And he was like, oh, well, you know, you don't like the... And he said... I forgot what he said in that scene. But, you know, he kind of stepped off a little bit, and then she got a little more comfortable. She started asking him questions, and then he sort of started going back in. And then he went in there. But the thing about Rocky is that he had the confidence. He went in there,
Yeah.
and then he was like, okay, I definitely know you want me. And then he started kissing her, and then they started making out. You know, that whole scene.
that whole scene, yeah. That was a
Yeah.
good scene.
So a lot of guys must have that confidence if they're like Rocky. If they're in that situation, guys need to have that sort of confidence, right? And he ended up, you know, I guess, I don't know, they don't show you, but I'm sure he got laid that day, I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
And then they ended up having a great relationship, obviously, as we know through the future movies. So Rocky was not a pussy when
No.
it came to Adrian. And
No, he knew his shit. He knew that she liked him, and so he knew that he can get her. So he went and did it.
yeah, he got what he
for it.
wanted.
Yeah.
Like, he went for it. So after he's doing that, they're basically like, well, Rocky's doing good, except he has to deal with Paulie, who tries to like come after him for a second, but he's like, yo, chill out, bro. And Paul's like, all right, fine. You know, I guess that's like a side thing.
Yeah.
But basically, Rocky, when he was training, right? He trained very hard, right? He stayed very consistent on his training with Mickey, and because of his good training, he was able to last with Apollo Creed as long as he did. Now we're gonna get to the big fight. So the thing about Rocky is that first of all, he actually showed up, right?
Yeah,
He went to the
there.
fight. Now there was a specific scene of the movie that we need to talk about, and David Goggins has mentioned this on podcasts of his, and I completely agree with him because I've had this thought in my life too. There was round 14, so that's the scene where basically Rocky and Apollo, they're both exhausted. Apollo knocks him down, right? And Rocky's down, and Apollo thinks he won. So he's like, "Yeah, I won.
He's like
That's
walking
it, everybody. I'm good." And then he's like looking at the crowd, doing his thing, and then he sees when he turns around Rocky getting back up. And Rocky's like, "Yo, let's go. Let's keep going." And he's like, "Oh,
He's like, "Oh no."
He has this like look on his eyes.
Yeah,
David Goggins said the same thing, and I agree with him. That's like, "Oh, how's this guy like standing up to me like that? What's going on?"
Yeah.
So it was like that amazement. He was like, "Come on, man. Like you got to be kidding me." And basically, it was that like surprise, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, that it's pretty much like the determination. Like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I might have gotten down, but I was able to get back up, so we can still go. It's like in Captain America, yeah, I could do this all day type deal. So that's pretty much
Sort of like the thing that
Rocky
makes
thing.
Rocky special is that he went the distance.
Yeah, he doesn't give up.
He kept getting back up, and that basically sort of like frightened Apollo Creed in some sort of way. And he knew that he was not dealing with a man anymore. He was dealing with a machine.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what you got to do in life. You have to, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you got to keep getting back up because life doesn't care if you fall down. You have
it
to
will
get
stomp
back
you
up.
into the ground if you stay down. It'll stomp you.
If
into
you
the
fall
dirt.
down in life, life's just gonna step on your head.
Yeah.
Like life doesn't care. You have to have that courage to get up. Rocky had the courage to get back up. Even when Mickey said, "You got to stay down, man. Stay down. Don't get back up there." Rocky did not stay down. He just kept going because he knew he was in this for the real fight. He was in it to win it. Not that he did, but we'll get to that. But so round 14 was like probably the best scene in the movie. Now, the thing about Rocky is that he did not win.
Yeah. Normally in stories like this, you think that you think that the person, the underdog would win, but and actually a big twist is that he did not win at all. He did not win the match. Apollo Creed won. But the thing was is that he still kind of won in a sense. He lost the match, but he still won in the end because he went the distance. He went on his mission and he conquered it pretty much, even though he did lose that match. He still did everything that he wanted to do, everything he needed to do. He got the girl, all that stuff. He was able to do everything.
Yeah, the fact
that he needed
won.
to do, even though he might have lost the match, he was still able to do it. And that's how he won.
The fact is that he went the distance, and that's what everyone needs to do in life. No matter what their goal is, they need to go the distance. They need to, even if you think you can't do that one more mile, you need to try to do that one more mile. There's always a little bit more than you can put effort into to make it wholesome. You can go after it, right? No matter what. You need to go a little bit further every single time. And that's what Rocky did.
Yeah.
And the cinematography also helped the movie really inspire people.
The cinematography of this movie is very unique. And I love the scenes of the training sequences because the way that they edited it together with Rocky, training and running, and with the music, the sound design, and the music, it was just perfect to make anyone, doesn't matter who the heck you are, you will get motivated just by watching those scenes. Just those scenes alone. By those scenes alone, you can honestly get motivated. I know you did. You just get super motivated, want to do whatever. Anything that comes to mind, you just want to conquer it. That's why I love those scenes. Those are probably like my favorite scenes. I don't care about anything else. Those scenes to me, how they, especially cinematography wise, is how they put it together. That is like genius.
Yeah, guys, the main lesson to take away from this film is that you must overcome the obstacles and you must go the distance. There is no way out of that. You must achieve the goals by keep getting after it. Just because someone might not believe in you or maybe not everybody's on your team, you need to be on your own team and you need to go after it no matter what. No matter what anyone says, no matter any influence around you, no matter what bad days you may have, you must stay on the goal no matter what. Rocky was able to do that, and you can do it too. That is the main message. And so if you guys like the video, like and subscribe for more. If you have any thoughts or comments, leave it in below, or you can send us an email if you have any questions. So this is our first motivational movie video. Stay tuned for more.